Well, I've got a couple of kind of pet peeves about B2B marketing and some of the areas where we need to improve. And one is about the customer information or the data that we collect about customers and prospects. In consumer, it's usually not worthwhile to collect prospect data, but in B2B, it usually is, at least to a certain extent. But I see over and over again that B2B marketers delegate responsibility for the actual data itself to somebody in marketing operations or revenue operations or somewhere, and say, oh, well, Mary's managing our database and she's in charge of that. And I think that's wrong. I suggest that marketers become intimately knowledgeable about what's in their marketing database. Take a look at 2 or 3 customer records. Recognize what's there, what's not there, what's correct, what's incorrect, based on what you already know about the account, and make it your personal mission to keep the data accurate and complete. And it's not easy, but it is so valuable and important to have correct and complete information that we just can't afford to ignore it or delegate it to a third party. So that's one thing. I'm always out there harassing people on this subject. Then another area that is a big source of discontent at my end is the relative attention we pay to current customer marketing versus net new customers. And it's understandable when salespeople are saying, leads, I need leads. And every report you see on the B2B industry says that sales quantity and quality is job one for a marketing department. But as the buying process changes and the scope of the marketing portfolio broadens, we're being pushed, kind of kicking and screaming into helping to manage accounts. This used to be delegated to an account manager, who had responsibility for expanding, penetrating existing accounts. Sometimes they're now called customer success managers, although I'm still not really clear on what the difference is. But marketing can do so much to enhance that relationship, broaden, deepen the penetration into the account, identify opportunities, nurture those relationships, that we need to step up and take responsibility for retention marketing as much as we do for new customer acquisition. And by the way, Crane's B2B marketing was still being published. It's sadly no longer published today. Every year they would do a survey asking B2B marketers what percentage of your budget goes to acquisition versus retention. And every year it was the same number. It was about 85% acquisition and about 15% retention. Changed maybe 1 percentage point. And I think it's still true today, to my great regret. And then the last recommendation I would make, which I already mentioned, is to focus on social media. I'm seeing data this year for the first time that suggests that social media is pulling ahead of email and the corporate website as the most important media channel in B2B, something I never thought would happen, but it's happening. So we need to jump on that and be active. So thank you, Shelley. I hope some of these ideas will be helpful to your listeners.